It has been said that repetition is the hallmark of learning. And so I found that to be true in my Spanish language journey, my Spanish language learning journey. And so I have found it helpful to ensure that I incorporate Spanish into my everyday activities. It is not a race, but it is a marathon. So that means that it doesn't happen overnight. So something that is very, very helpful is the ability to be able to think in Spanish. Does that mean that you're constantly translating something in your head before you respond to someone speaking to you? Absolutely not. But what that means is that when you see something, whatever it is, it comes to mind in Spanish. And so one of the ways that I have learned how to strengthen that is to, number one, adopt one of the 15 invaluable laws of growth that comes to mind right now from John Maxwell, and that is the law of intentionality. That means that I have to make the conscious effort to ensure that I am interacting with the language interacting with the language daily. So does that mean that I need to spend 3, 4, 5 hours with my head buried in the books or trying to learn a whole bunch of vocabulary? Absolutely not. Vocabulary is great. It is necessary. But what will be more fruitful or more productive is if I'm focusing my efforts on phrases, terms, and words that I use every day. For example, good morning, buenos dias, good night, buenas noches, good afternoon, buenas tardes, how are you doing, ¿cómo está? Or the formal way, ¿cómo está usted? Another example is, I'll say it this way. When I send a text to my friends or to someone that I'm close to that also speaks Spanish, I will say something along the lines of, hola, ¿cómo está? Espero que esté bien. Hello, how are you doing? What's going on? I hope you're doing well. Because it's natural. It's something that I would naturally say. So I want to challenge you, or I want to ask you if you would just drop a reply in the chat box to this question. What are some of the phrases, terms, and words that you use every day? See, the thing is that there's certain things, even in our native tongue. For example, my native tongue is English. There are things that I say every day. And quite frankly, to be honest with you, if I don't think about it, I don't even realize that or how frequently or how much I'm using those phrases or terms, but it is a reality. So when it becomes something that you naturally say, then as they say, it becomes second nature. Another thing that you can do is you can practice introducing yourself. When you travel, when you meet new people, there are common questions, there are general questions that are asked, such as, oh, what was your name, by the way? Where are you from? So tell me a little something about yourself. It happens to me every time, especially when I travel abroad. People obviously will say, well, what's your name? Where are you from? So why did you learn Spanish? And so these are things that I will continue to say. There's some things that won't change. Where I was born, where I grew up, that's like a one-time ordeal, and that's not going to ever change. And as I meet new people, as you meet new people, these are common questions. So why not take those things and learn how to say those things in Spanish and say it confidently. And so when you are hit with those questions, just like that, second nature, you'll be able to say, for example, myself, hola, mi nombre es Tina Leticia Hill, nací y crecí en los Estados Unidos, específicamente en el estado de Georgia. Aprendí español porque me fascina cuando yo era niña. Mi mejor amiga se llama Hazel O'Neill y era de Ponce, Puerto Rico. Ella no hablaba nada de inglés y yo no hablaba nada de español, pero éramos mejores amigas. So that's something that's not going to ever change. My name, where I grew up, My friend Hazel, she was from Ponce, Puerto Rico, and she didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any Spanish with the exception of like 4 or 5 words, but that is something that I will continue to say for the rest of my life when people ask me about my beginnings as it relates to the Spanish language. So think of some of those things that you say all the time in your native tongue, whether your native tongue is English or another language, and just begin just to incorporate that into your daily interactions with the language, and watch the difference that it will make in your ability to think in Spanish, or ability to respond without really giving it much thought. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has been helpful to you, I want to encourage you to go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and we'll see you on the next go round.